Sit back, let's unpack. Today I'm going to go over the fights to make after UFC 323. Let's get right into it. The main event. The main event. Let's go, Petr Yan. I needed this moment. I was waiting for this moment. I predicted Merab, I know, but I'm glad to be wrong. I am so glad to take this L, the best L of my life. I am so happy for Petr Yan. He did it. He put a masterclass performance on Merab. Huge performance, huge victory for Petr Yan. And I'm here for it. I loved it. He stuffed 90% of the takedowns. He dunked Merab on his head, outpaced Merab, out cardioed Merab. But I'll give Merab his due. He did 4 fights in 1 year, four title fights in 1 year. That took a toll on him. That's why you don't do 4 fights in 1 year. It's going to hurt your cardio tremendously. It did it to RDR and it did it to Merab. Your gas tank, you cannot, that's why fighters take these breaks. They do 3 fights. They do 2 to 3 fights a year. They don't do these many fights because it's going to deteriorate you. But nonetheless, Petr Yan downloaded all his information from the first fight, already downloaded, came calculated, and just put on a clinic against Merab throughout the entire fight. He was just outpacing, outstriking, and even out wrestling. He got more takedowns than Merab did. He was tremendous. All flowers to Petr Yan for UFC 323. That brings me to my next point. As you see, Merab is not on one of these cards. It's not listed on one of these fights because Merab deserves a rematch. His next fight will be for the belt, no matter what. No matter who's the champion of bantamweight, Merab is going to be fighting for the belt. I think Merab should take some time off, relax, rest. Could come late next year, October. I would say next year, maybe August or October, maybe November, late next year. Just relax, rest, take some time off, get back, get your cardio back and going, get, all the injuries handled. You deserve it. You did you did it. A lot of 3 title defenses did really well, but you'll get the rematch for the belt, or fight for the belt if Petr Yan is not the champion, but you'll fight for the belt next no matter what. He deserves that. But in the time being, I feel like Petr Yan, the winner of Petr Yan should be, if the winner of Omar or Figgy, if Omar wins, it should be Omar Nurmagomedov. He should be fighting for the title next if he beats Figgy. Now, if Figgy wins, no, Figgy needs one more fight. If Sean O'Malley beats Song Yadong and Omar loses, then Sean O'Malley can be next. The White House card, Petr Yan, Sean O'Malley too. That's a no-brainer. Dana White's of course going to do that, even though Sean O'Malley needs another fight because he can't. He just got 2 back-to-back championship fights, and then he's going to get another one. And if Omar wins and Sean O'Malley wins, and if they jump Sean O'Malley for the White House card or for Petr Yan, that would be horrendous. That would be so bad. I don't want to see that fight. Petr Yan destroyed him the first fight. That was the biggest robbery in the UFC. I don't even know how that was even a split. I don't even know how that was even Sean O'Malley. Petr Yan outclassed him the entire time. But nonetheless, a win is a win. But I think Omar deserves it next. He at least had 2. He only had 1 title shot. Got back, beat Mario Batista with the 8-fight win streak. And now if he beats Figgy, that'd be another good win for him. Sean O'Malley, he lost to Merab twice. And then Song Yadong, I feel like Omar deserves a little more over Sean O'Malley at this point. Sean O'Malley could fight Amin Zahabi after Song Yadong, and that could give him another title shot. And we go to the next. As you see, Pantoja is not on here because that was a fluke win. That was an injury. That was not a fluke knockout or anything like that. This was just a weird up kick, landed on his arm, dislocated his elbow, and so it's just the 1 minute in, it's just nothing happened in the entire fight. Joshua Van still got the belt because, it still happened in the fight. It's not like, he just came inside, broke his leg right when he walked in the octagon. But this was during a fight sequence, so that's why Joshua Van got the belt. But I would say it's either the rematch with Joshua Van against Pantoja, or it's going to be Tatsuro Taira. I'm going to say it's going to be Tatsuro Taira only because he's a lot of momentum on Tatsuro Taira right now. I feel like right now it's Pantoja. It needs some time off. He needs to rest. He needs to, get his things together. I would love if Mokaev came back. Van versus Mokaev. That is the true fight to make. Forget Taisio Taro. Mokaev versus Joshua Van. That is the fight to make. Resign Mokaev. He deserves that title shot. That would be a great fight to have because he beat Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson beat Van. This would be a great fight to have. Van versus Mokaev, but I'm only making the fights with the UFC roster right now, and that's Tatsuro Tara. He's going to be next. If Mokaev doesn't get signed back, this is the fight to make. If Mokaev doesn't get signed, on to the next. Peyton Talbot versus Corey Sandhagen. Of course, a lot of people are going to have this fight. I feel like this is a no-brainer to have. Peyton Talbot, he learned a lot from his mistakes. He's on the rise. He just got into the top 10 with a dominant win over Henry Cejudo. Great fight, great pace he did. Stuffed a lot of the takedowns, even took down Henry Cejudo. Did really well on the ground, did really well striking. And I feel like let's put him on a good test. Corey Sandhagen lost to Merab, lost to Omar, lost to Petr Yan. Let's get this fight going. This would be a great fight to have. Peyton Talbot versus Corey Sandhagen. We'll see if Peyton Talbot's ready for the top of the division. Corey Sandhagen's ranked number 4. Henry Cejudo's was ranked number 10, so he'll be in the top 10. This will be a good top 5 win to have. The rest of the top 5, they're all kind of booked right now. You could do Peyton Talbot versus Amin Zahabi, but Amin Zahabi's also, he shouldn't be fighting down the rankings since he is also, on a good win streak. He should fight at least someone up in the rankings. Try to get a good win. You could also do Peyton Talbot versus Mario Batista, but I feel like they're really neck and neck. I want Peyton Talbot to get more someone up in their top rankings at least. So it'll be Corey Sandhagen. That'd be a great fight to have. Dominant strikers. I feel like Mario Batista will just outpace Peyton Talbot, but Peyton Talbot learned a lot from the Ronnie Barcelos fight. Barcelos is doing great. I want to see Barcelos versus Mario Batista or something. We could have something like that. I don't know if they already fought. I didn't check their history, but that'd be a great fight to have as well. But I would say let's do Peyton Talbot versus Corey Sandhagen. Dominant fight to have. On to the next. Chris Duncan versus Jared Gordon. This would be a good fight to have. Jared Gordon's up in the rankings still. He's just higher than Chris Duncan. This would be another good knockout for Chris Duncan to have. Good finish to have. Good pace. This would show like if he knocks out Jared Gordon, he's better than Paddy Pimblett's performance. He could show that. But I feel like this would be a good step up for Chris Duncan to get closer to the a ranked fight. After this fight, he could have someone in the top 15. That would be great. Put him in there. On to the next. Ziam. I've been high on this kid. Ziam's been putting on clinic after clinic. He had an amazing performance against Nazim Sadikov. Outpaced him, out-wrestled him, knocked him clean. Nice elbows. A little early stoppage, but that he was robbed. When he stood up, he was like stumbling. He got saved from getting more elbows to the head. Later on into the second round, he would have got finished. But you know what? It happens. Bad stoppages happen after time. I feel like they should not do a stoppage after the bell. But here we are. Ziam would have got that finish anyways. I had Ziam as second round knockout. We'll see how it goes. But I feel like ZM should get a top ranked opponent, and that opponent, Beneil Dariush. This would be a great fight to have because Beneil Dariush is on a big fight skid. Let's let him defend his ranking for someone outside of the ranking. This would be a really good test for ZM to get in the rankings. If he gets past Beneil, this would be a good thing. If Beneil defends his ranking, that'll be a dominant victory over a big prospect. If Beneil loses, it's time to retire. It's time to just hang it up. Do not get any more CT. You don't need no more brain damage. It's okay. You did good. Just relax, breathe. And that's a fight to make. Next, Bruno Ferreira versus Jared Gordon. I feel like this is a great fight to have. This would be a great performance for Bruno Ferreira to have. He would just beat Marvin Vittori. He could just climb up the rankings, get Jared Gordon. This would be a great test for him to see if he won't get fraud checked out. But I feel like Marvin Vittori was that person if he's going to fraud check someone. But Jared Gordon will, see how he does with the striking, with the grappling. We'll see with the clinch. And I feel like Bruno Ferreira could, get past Jared Gordon, but it's going to be a very tough fight for the both of them. I feel like this would be a great fight to have for the UFC to put together. Next, Manuel Torres versus Gamrot. Torres needs he needs a higher fight now. He destroyed Grant Dawson, put him up, you know, give him a good prospect. Good ranked opponent. Gamrot, he's a great ranked opponent. He could test Manuel Torres how he's going to be. This is the fight to make for the both of them. On to the next, the final, Mansour Abdul Malik. Amazing performance from Mansour. Clean, standing rear naked choke, standing guillotine actually. So yeah, standing guillotine against a dude that's like 6'5", Tricoli. It's pretty impressive. So I would say another great step up would be Michel Pereira. Put them together. Michel's up in the more is higher ranked than Mansour. Mansour needs another a bigger name. Michel Pereira is that bigger name. Let's put this clinic together. This will be a fun fight to have. Both are flashy. Both are good. Uh, let's do it. These are the fights to make. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about UFC 323. Comment below. Thank you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this small little fights to make video.